More you try to stop it, the more they want to touch each other.
Man, I'm trying. So, episode 11 with Roni Matar. He's a coach, consultant, trainer, NLP practitioner, whatever you want. Roni, how are you, man?
Doing well. How are you, Jean? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for giving us the time to be here, share this amazing value with my community and your community. I hope everyone who watches this video learns as much as they can or as much as they want, actually. So the reason I invited you here today is because we met on Clubhouse. There was a little tension between us. It was a little fun, a little challenging.
It wasn't tension. It was challenging because
it was good tension. It was the
when
fun
somebody
kind of tension,
challenges you, you
Yeah,
grow. You have
yeah,
like more
yeah.
awareness.
Yeah, the positive tension, the one that pushes you to grow and to actually get out of your own box. So,
Sure.
with that, we talked about hypnosis as well. And you told
Right.
me, or you told us actually in the room, that you actually hypnotized someone on stage in front of an audience, and it actually worked.
Actually, I'm a hypnosis trainer from the American Board of Hypnosis.
So you can
I
train
train people
people
to become.
to hypnotize
Yes.
others. Okay,
Yes.
okay, this is crazy. So, before we start, the normal definition of hypnosis, not the one you do or the one that is known, hypnosis in general. What is it?
Hypnosis is a process where someone gets someone else into a state that's called trance. Trance is like an alternative state of consciousness. We go through it on a daily basis normally. Like when you're driving the car, you reach a red sign, you stop, and then you're thinking about something, and then somebody just presses on the honk, and you're like, huh? Well, where was I? That's a
Yeah,
state of trance. Or when you're going from one city to another, and suddenly you find yourself, you moved like 2 kilometers, and like, how did this whole thing
yeah,
pass? This is called the state of trance. So with hypnosis, the hypnotist gets the person to follow a certain set of suggestions to get them into that specific state. Now, in movies and on TV and pop culture, we see hypnosis as something that's always controlling the other
yeah.
person,
I wanted to
taking
ask you about
advantage
this
of them,
actually.
which is
Uh,
completely
yeah,
not true.
totally. But before that, you said you go to a state of trance.
Yes.
So is it like daydreaming, for example, when you like just
One of the states of trance is daydreaming. Other is when you're looking at something and you just have your vision just open up.
yeah,
We call
yeah,
that peripheral vision.
yeah,
Another state could be the things that you do in meditation, in prayer, in any form of calming yourself down, in yoga. They all have similar
yeah,
entrance to that state of relaxation or that state of connectedness with your unconscious mind, as some might say.
yeah,
It helps you calm down. It helps you just relax and connect with stuff that you may not be paying attention to. Like in hypnosis, sometimes we help people remember stuff that they have forgotten. Like maybe you've put something somewhere in the house and you forgot it. You go to a hypnotist to help you remember where you put it.
yeah.
So that's one of the things.
This is really cool, actually. And speaking of movies, you told me about it. So in movies, hypnosis actually look like something very evil or something that will control a human 100% completely and make him do whatever you want him to do. So if you want to compare the hypnosis we see in movies, like for example, Now You See Me, if you know the movie, or any other similar movie, and the hypnosis that is done in real life, or for example, the one that you do, if there was a certain scale or percentage, what is the percentage of similarity between them from 0 to 100?
Okay, so if we're taking Now You See Me, I remember a scene where somebody gets close to somebody else and they just click on their head and they go
Yeah,
into a
yeah,
state of trance.
exactly. Yeah,
This is called an instant induction, but that has to be done in a specific place where the person has been talking to that person for a specific period of time. The other person needs to get into accepting the suggestions. And everywhere, like in training, you've been to trainings, right?
yeah,
To live training.
definitely. Yeah,
The beginning of each training. So who's here from Beirut? And who's
yeah,
here from? So this is called a yes sir. This is taken from hypnosis. Hypnosis starts with getting people to agree with you on three different things. Like, so we're here today talking, Jean,
yeah,
about hypnosis. and you're interested in this, right?
Yeah.
So these are three yeses. And this is a state where somebody starts following the suggestions. And after that, the hypnotist has more access to get the person to accept these suggestions. Hello.
So
If
is
we're
it
talking
bullshit?
about
Is it
controlling
bullshit? And now you see
somebody,
me?
that extreme, yes. I mean, if hypnosis was that easy, here in Lebanon, we could use it, go hypnotize people who are following certain set of
Yeah,
politicians
yeah,
and to do certain specific things, or go ahead
yeah,
and hypnotize the politicians.
yeah,
But it's the combination and consistency of things. Like media puts us in a state of trance because there's always bad news, there's always fear, there's always propaganda. That's put us in a certain state of trance that we get hooked on by following up on the news, going on social media, following up on certain things. So
yeah,
we are able to break that once we notice these patterns or these waves that we are riding.
yeah. So again, so it is not really similar to the real life between movies. So
It's very
they,
distorted. I mean, you cannot control another person without their consent. If I tell you, Jean, close your eyes, can I close them for you? No,
no,
you'd have to agree with me and do like this, or
yeah,
else you wouldn't close your eyes.
yeah. So not only do they give us a distorted image of what hypnosis is, we cannot really understand it from the movies as much as we want to try
No.
and understand it. So
In movies, it's more magical. It's more like
it
something
sells, it
that you
sells.
wave with a
It's
magic
entertaining.
wand, and it's just you control everything.
Yeah, yeah. So outside of movies, I want to go into your own career, your own experience in hypnosis. So please go ahead and tell me the story of the time you hypnotized someone on stage from the beginning. How do you actually prepare for it, or how do you build up the connection with this person? Maybe you choose it directly, or whenever you're on stage, you choose a person randomly. Just walk me through it.
All right, so I got into this. I was in my background is in biology. I used to work in operation rooms with doctors, and I used to train doctors on how to use certain machines. And I discovered that what I actually like is getting people to improve something about what they do. And that got me into studying NLP, hypnosis, many different modalities. And become a practitioner, master practitioner, and then a trainer. So in my trainer's training, we studied how to become stage hypnotist, part of our training. And there's something very interesting happened with me. I was the person who was part of the crowd because we were practicing being hypnotized.
Yeah,
And there was a Japanese lady who hypnotized me.
yeah,
So we were like 10 people sitting watching her, and she was doing the hypnosis stage show. And then I go into a very deep state of trance, and then there's like a signal. So during the process of telling somebody that this is a hypnosis show and I'm gonna do something, and when I trigger that thing, you're gonna come on stage and sit here. So I was one of the people who actually followed their suggestions. So weirdly enough, she tells me, I'm gonna snap my fingers, and when I snap my fingers, this is a real story. I'm not
yeah,
bullshitting.
yeah.
This actually happened, and there are witnesses. When I snap my finger, I'm gonna talk in Japanese, and you're gonna translate into English. Like, okay, so she talks in Japanese. I say something in English. I have no idea I have no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I actually translate 3 sentences of hers from Japanese to English.
I don't know.
And
This is very weird to believe.
this
Very,
is
very
very
weird to
weird,
understand. Yeah.
but the thing is, sometimes we build connections with certain people. We call
Yeah.
that rapport. We click. We know what's going on in their mind without even listening to them. We continue each other's phrases. And I'd been to Japan twice, but I don't speak Japanese at the time. So I was able to do that. It was weird for me, but it happened. So in the
Yeah.
process of stage hypnosis, to answer your question, it's more of using stories, setting the stage, and noticing which people are the most responsive to you. Like, we can do something right now. I'm just gonna ask you to make your hand like this
Okay.
and put these fingers like this. Okay. Make
Okay.
sure that these fingers are this way now.
Okay.
Okay, so you can put them a little bit down so you can see, distance them from each other. Okay, and look at between each other. And notice how slowly they're gonna start closing.
I can't stop it.
And the more you try to stop it, the more they want to touch each other.
Man, I'm trying to. I swear to God, I'm trying to stop it.
The harder you push them, the more they want to. All right, so that's called the suggestibility test. You are
Man,
suggestible.
man, imagine if you made me do something just like the one you told me. I want to hear it. I want people to hear it. The one where the guy sticks his hand on his head.
All right,
It's
so
crazy,
we
man.
do a bunch of suggestibility tests in front of a group of people, and there are people who just follow these suggestibility tests very quickly. And spoiler alert, this does not mean that the person is easily controlled. This means that the person has a high imagination, because I'm not there pushing your hands. I'm just telling you your hands are going to just attract to each other, and it's happening. So hypnosis is based on somebody using their imagination vividly. There's something in the mind called the critical faculty. So when you're watching a movie, you don't go like, this man can't be purple and big and has rings and just snaps like this and removes half of the population of the world when you're watching Avengers. You just suspend that and you enjoy watching the movie.
Yeah,
In hypnosis, we suspend the critical faculty, which is the part that distinguishes between reality and imagination,
yeah,
and everything goes. So in the event that you're asking about several times, when we're doing the hypnosis, we say, so when I like rub my nose or when I do like this, you're going to come on stage. And in a couple of shows, I do that. Somebody comes on stage. I get them to either stick their hand on their
yeah,
forehead, forget their names,
yeah,
forget a number, forget other people's names. It's like there are things that can happen under the hypnotic effect that are entertaining. At the same time, there's this part that can be used with people using them in hypnotherapy when they want to lose weight, when they want to stop smoking, when they have um, chronic pain issues, when they have many different things that they want to deal with in different ways.
yeah. But Ronnie, I want to ask something. So you're not just a I forgot the word.
Hypnotist, hypnotist,
Hypnotist.
hypnotist.
So you're not just that, but in this part, I think it's not easy to actually build a credibility because when you just hypnotize one person, only this one person will really believe what you did, and as much as he wants to try and convince other people, no, this is real, I really got hypnotized, it is not easy to the general audience to believe it. So,
So
and it is very easy
go
for
on.
people to call you, okay, you're bullshitting, no, this is not true, this is fake. How can you build this credibility? How can you make people trust you without trying to hypnotize every single one in order?
So I have a personal belief: the more you try to convince people that what you do is valid, the less people believe you.
Yeah,
Right? So when you chat about something or when you talk about something, people are generally interested when you're interested in them. And when you're interested in them, they start asking you questions about you. And
yeah,
by giving specific information, not full information, like that there are two secrets in the world. Number
yeah,
one, never share everything that you know.
yeah, yeah. And number two, a cliffhanger.
So that by itself gets people curious. So instead of
Yeah,
like, I do hypnosis and hypnosis can, yeah, I do hypnosis.
yeah,
And they're like, okay, this is not true. I'm sure it's not true. And you're good in believing that.
yeah,
Well, can you do this? No. Can you make me quack like a duck? Like what? Like a duck. How so? Quack. There you go. So it really depends on just allowing people to enter the process in a way that's not very salesy, that's not very pushy, just
yeah.
getting people like, this is
Genuinely
an
interested.
experience
Yeah,
that you can get into and benefit from. Maybe not. Let's try. You have nothing to lose.
yeah. This is crazy actually. I never expected first of all for you to tell me to do the thing, and then the story of the
It
stage one.
works through Zoom.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, but this is why it's crazy. Like I have full control over myself. You're not even close to me, and like,
We have not rehearsed that. Put a
yeah,
disclaimer.
yeah,
This is the
yeah,
first time ever I talked to Jean.
yeah.
I've never
This
seen
is
him before in my life.
yeah, this is crazy actually. Ronnie, I wanted to ask you, what advice can you give to someone who wants to pursue a career similar to you, not necessarily in hypnosis?
You're crazy. That's first. If you want to pursue a career similar to me. In what sense? In training, in personal development? I work in consulting. In
Um,
what way? I do too many things.
Choose the two most interesting things that you do, or the ones that you enjoy the most, and just give advice to someone that might want to pursue something similar, at least, if not the same.
Okay, so I'm gonna choose first change work and when people come to me with fears, phobias, anxieties, this kind of thing. Don't believe everything that you think you know, because there are so many misconceptions about personal development that I personally passed through and many times in many periods in my life that misled me in many different ways. And there is no set system that works for everybody. There is no set of advice that is universal.
Definitely.
There's a lot of things related to context that matter, like things that we read in personal development may work in the United States, but in Lebanon, for example, in our situation, some things don't work as well as in different places.
Yeah.
And generalize less. If I'm gonna say the other thing, I'm gonna go with hypnosis. If since we're talking the episode is about hypnosis, uh, have fun. Like if there's an opportunity to do stage shows, if there's an opportunity to interact with lots of people, do many different things that seem crazy but could get you lots of experience. Like the first time I did the hypnosis show, I messed up in something that I should have used to my benefit. I was doing a show for an NGO,
Yeah.
and I was doing the induction for everybody. And before I did the signal, three people decided to come up on stage. It was my first on my own. I'm
Yeah.
like, no,
I wanted to ask you
not
what is
now,
one.
guys.
Yeah, I want to ask you what is a notable failure that you had.
This is one. I am
Yeah.
hypnosis. And not now, guys. I didn't give you the signal yet. I'm like, they're already following your suggestions. You don't need to tell
Yeah.
them like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not now. So, and that was a very huge learning for me that got me to do other stuff. I did in there was a friend of mine who was doing a camp for children who were aged from 10 till 15. I did a small hypnosis show for them.
Yeah.
I did the hypnosis in weddings. I did hypnosis in universities. So
In weddings, it would be fun actually to do something
it was.
on the groom or
After a few drinks, that's even more fun, and people like just get into it even
yeah.
more. They're
Even if
already
someone
fun.
has some alcohol in their body, they can be responsive to you.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the contrary, their inhibitions are down. They're having more fun. Like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, this is so cool. Actually, this is so cool. I never thought I would be so interested in hypnosis. I'm still skeptical about getting hypnotized. It's scary a little, but it's really cool. And
Is it
something to
scary to relax, Jean?
no, no, it's definitely not. But this is why I brought you here to actually clarify this fog around hypnosis and what is it actually to be hypnotized. And you actually said that when I'm hypnotized, for example, or you're hypnotized, you are aware of it. You know, you do not wake up
Every
from
single
it,
time.
not remembering anything, and I don't know what have been done to me and everything. So this is something actually good to know that if someone hypnotizes you, you will be aware of it, you will be accepting it. So no one can do it without your will, right?
No.
Impossible.
No, and there's always the option of telling the hypnotist that you're working with, please record everything because I want to see what happens. Just in case maybe you doze off and fall asleep because of
Yeah,
relaxation, like, okay, this happened.
yeah,
Sometimes in hypnosis, we do post-hypnotic suggestions where we suggest something that when something like for somebody who wants to stop smoking,
yeah,
we could do a post-hypnotic suggestion that whenever you see a cigarette, you're gonna break it, and we're gonna tell them to forget it.
yeah,
Okay, there are lots of people who actually don't follow these suggestions, but there are actually some people because they are willing to stop that habit, who accept it and remove it from their mind that somebody told them about that.
yeah,
So in that case, these kind of suggestions are forgotten. Just simply as you know, when you go to the kitchen and you wanted to get something, and you're like, "How did I get here?"
yeah,
This
yeah,
kind of forgetfulness, but not the kind of forgetfulness like some people come to me like, "I broke up with my boyfriend or my girlfriend. I want to forget them."
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
It's not eternal sunshine for a spotless mind. You're not gonna get there. It's worse
yeah,
for you. Imagine deleting from your mind something that was painful
definitely.
completely, and that removes the chance for you to learn from it, and it's technically impossible.
Yeah, Yeah, this is really true. And I wanted to continue and follow up on the question about advice for someone wanting to pursue something similar to you. So in your case, what were the best resources or maybe people or courses that helped you at least to try and find a path within your career, not necessarily to become the expert that you are now, but something to start with?
The courses that were the most
Courses, books,
interesting.
advice, maybe people to check, something that just got you really interested in
So I think the book that got me, the thing that got me started was a movie that had Tony Robbins in it. It was called Shallow Hal.
yeah.
And then I read like Awaken the Giant Within,
Yeah,
Unlimited Power. These books for me were so interesting at the time. They gave like so much potential, like they opened up so many things.
yeah,
At a certain point, I started discovering that some of the things promised in these books were a bit delusional. Like it's not about always having energy, it's not about only your state, and it's not about only your mind. Emotions play a role, circumstances play a role sometimes, and you have to work yourself through these circumstances. So these things, the motivational books, are a good starter on the track. Later on, you can either enter or read these books by understanding that motivation doesn't always work, or allow yourself to be motivated, and then you'll hit several walls. I'm like, no, that's not. This is
yeah,
not working. Then
yeah,
you go another direction. So the first course I took was in NLP, was in Dubai back in 2013. It was very interesting because it had four things. It has NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It had hypnosis, something called timeline therapy, and something called NLP coaching. So it had a bunch of things together. And the diversity was one of the things that was interesting for me. So another good resource was, if somebody wants to study something, search for different schools for it, because nothing is biblical, like this is the holy grail of
yeah.
this kind of field.
No
In
size
any
fits all.
field,
Yeah,
whether it's
yeah,
programming, whether it's finance, whether it's coaching, whether it's hypnosis, look for many different schools and diversify as much as you can. Or if you don't want to take the courses or you don't have the resources for that, find people who studied from different schools, different things,
yeah,
whatever your major, whatever your business is, and reach out to them, ask them questions like, I did this in this way. What do you think about this?
yeah. Thank you so much
These are
for
two
these tips
things.
actually and the resources. I still have one question I wanted to ask you. What is one common, you most probably said it during the episode, but what is one common myth or maybe something that people think about your profession that you want to give a fact check to?
That we have flawless lives, and we know we do the best things all the time, and we know it all, and we should. ولو
Yeah,
روني انت coach in Arabic. How
yeah,
come you're doing these mistakes? You're a coach. You're
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
professional. You're a self-development guru.
yeah,
We're humans. Human, like, stop idolizing your idols or your heroes. Stop making them gods or superhumans. We're all humans. We are all flawed. We all have done stuff we are not that happy about. We all can learn from something, and we're all in a perpetual problem solving state. Whether it's big problems or small problems, we're always solving something to improve our lives on some levels, or make it suck less, if
yeah.
not improve.
Yeah, this is amazing actually. You know, I'm truly speechless, man. It's one of the best episodes I ever had. Just because it was so interactive, actually, you know, it didn't feel like an interview at all. It wasn't like question, answer, question, answer. It was an amazing discussion. So,
I enjoyed it too. Thanks for
yeah.
having me, John.
So, do you want to give any last piece of advice, maybe, or something before we wrap it up?
I think the advice I gave in Clubhouse the other day, don't listen to the advice of people who don't have to live with the consequences of their advice. Like, if somebody's telling you something, question it and see is what is their point in sharing that form of advice. Do
Yeah,
they actually have the credibility or the evidence for it, or they just know it in theory and think it's good because some person they like think is important said it?
yeah, yeah,
Because nothing beats actual real life experience in
Definitely,
all fields.
definitely.
In all fields.
Totally agree, because you know, in books and courses and whatever, they all create these idealistic scenarios. Even the problems that they create, they are too idealistic. They are made up problems. They create the problems and tell you, okay, if something like this happened, you do this, and that's it. So
Never like that. I wish life was cause effect. It would have
yeah,
been so fucking simple, but it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Life is simple, but it's not easy in a way. That's
Well,
what I
it
think.
depends how you look at it.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, life happens. You know, life is life. It's not easy. It's hard, but it's simple. You know, you just have to to live it in a way. And yeah, with that, I just want to thank you, Ronnie, for this amazing episode. It was
Last
really
thought. The
fun.
good
Yeah,
news
yeah,
is
yeah,
last thing. The bad
definitely.
news, everything ends. The good news, everything ends.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the good news about this. Everything you mean as life, or like everything?
Everything. Like in life, bad stuff happen, they end. Good
Yeah,
stuff happen, they end.
yeah,
So in both ways, there's an ending to something. So no matter how challenging something might be, there's an end.
yeah,
Even if somebody's suffering in their life, death is the end, and sometimes that's considered as the end, which is a good thing. And sometimes when something's not working, it ends and starts something new.
you.
It could be an end of a
Yeah,
relationship, end of a job, end of a disastrous situation like in Lebanon,
yeah,
which we hope will end soon.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it will end. When, I don't know, but it will. It has to end, you know. uh, so amazing thought again. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, if you want
Thank
to
you,
ask
John.
Ronnie a question, maybe check his account out. You will find his social media in the description. You can follow him there, ask him whatever question you want. Go ahead, get hypnotized. I don't care. So, yep, and that's it. Thank you so much, Ronnie.
Thank you, John.